What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. As always, appreciate you watching another video here. If you haven't already, guys, do me a huge favor, hit that like button for me, hit that subscribe button for me, and don't forget to drop a comment as well, because I do read and get back to all the comments, okay? Now, guys, in today's video, we have the red pill godfather himself, Rollo Tomassi, as he went up against Ruslan KD, okay? They had a very interesting, very good debate on the Valuetainment Money channel, okay? The Saucecast. Go ahead and check that out as well. I highly recommend watching the full debate that they had. But today's portion that we're looking after is actually Ruslan, who is a very proud Christian, makes a lot of content, where he kind of reacts to a lot of situations going on today through the Christian point of view. And he's not necessarily confronting, but definitely asking why Rollo Tomassi is so against marriage when he himself is married, okay? So he's kind of, asking why is he so against it, but he's been married for 26 years, guys. It's a very long time. So let's go ahead and play the clip, and then I'm going to go ahead and break it down afterward.
That's where I'm landing, and I think that's where a lot of my disagreement with the red pill has been. And I think you've clarified some things, but I still think there's some cognitive dissonance here. And as a man, again, you've been married 26 years. That's amazing, right? I would love to see you roll, and I mean this sincerely. As somebody that you claim to be a follower of Jesus, you believe in the physical, bodily resurrection of Jesus. That's a miracle in of itself. I would love to see you preach more with you practice behind the scenes. I think that would be awesome, and that would be my heart for you. And I don't mean this in a derogatory
I
mean.
know, altar call time. It's fine. I get it.
Altar call. We all should be preaching what we practice, because it may not work for everyone, but goodness gracious, it could work for a lot of people and save a lot of people a lot of heartache.
I would agree with you, but I would also say it's also very important to have the facts and have the empirical data and have the things. Like, we want the full knowledge.
And
we want the full education.
We went over
if you
the
want to
empirical
know,
data. We went over when you're more likely to get divorced, there's less money.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? We talked about all of that.
Okay, so here's what I would tell guys. So you want a prescription? Here's the prescription. The prescription is this.
Let's go.
Know what you're getting into. Like, that's
know what you're getting into, and let's tip the scales in your favor. Our buddy Sauce is going to want kids. I want him optimally set up to have the best kids and the best family and the best wife and the best home, so that he's happy. He's getting laid all the time. This is my heart for most people. So how do we tip those scales in your favor? You know all about money, man. You could teach me things about money. We talked about disability insurance. You're giving me game on that, right? I'm saying that this is pragmatic, Rollo. I'm saying this is actually helpful and beneficial, and we should be telling people about this across the board, regardless, and saying, hey, man, you know what? You may not go to church. Church might be a good idea. That might be a good idea for you to get in touch with that side. You might want to consider this whole gospel thing, because it's done something for Rollo. 26 years later, happily married, daughter, thriving business, online platform, 5 books. Goodness gracious.
Yes. Again, like I keep saying, I wish guys could have this. That's why I really feel bad when I cannot endorse marriage in the way that is done right now.
Can you endorse marriage in the way I described it?
Covenantally, yes. Contractually, no.
Okay. Halfway, we met halfway.
Yeah.
If you enjoyed this video and want to watch,
all right, guys. Well, that was, just like I said, just a small.
I mean this sincerely.
Part of the debate there.
Have the facts,
and let's go ahead and kind of just break that down a little bit here. So
that he's happy.
For example, right? I think what Ruslan was, the point that he was trying to make here, was kind of just going over the fact that, kind of like you said, right? Rollo Tomassi is so quick to give a lot of advice on, hey, you know what? Stay single, don't get married, spin your plates. And this is what he'll constantly make a lot of content about, right? But kind of like Ruslan said, when does he ever go over, hey, you know what? Try to have a successful marriage. Let me give you some game on what you can do to have a marriage that's, lasts as long as his 26 years, guys. That's a very long time. And I completely get where Rollo's coming from too, because obviously marriage nowadays is, within the dating marketplace is different than 26 years ago. He probably met his wife. They been married 26 years. Maybe they were dating like 2-3 years before that. So you talking about like almost 30 years ago, okay? Rollo said he's in his mid-50s, guys. So as far as that goes, yes, it's going to be a lot different, but he's found a way to make it work. So why does he not ever go over some details or some game as to how to make a marriage work, right? I think that's what Ruslan is kind of going over. And you got to understand, guys, a lot of these red pill coaching, dating coaches, guys, they're all in relationships. They're either married relationships, Rollo, Tomassi, FitX Fearless, Anthony Spade, John Anthony Lifestyle, whoever you watch, okay? They all have their main, wife or girlfriend. Maybe they do their thing on the side, maybe they don't. Who knows, right? But they're all admitted to having girlfriends and being in relationships, right? So why is it that they're so quick to talk about, don't be in a relationship, don't pursue marriage, but they're all doing it themselves? For the most part. Maybe not all of them, but for the most part, like I said, they all have that main partner there. So you got to kind of figure out, you're kind of what he's saying, like Rollo's saying, hey, I want to make sure guys are aware of female nature. So it is good to be red pill aware, but I don't think everybody should be so scared to get into a relationship, because you got to understand, I do agree with Ruslan saying that, you are going to be better off finding that right person for you. So don't just get in a relationship with any random thought or hoe that wants to get in a relationship with you. But when you do find that one, woman that compliments you and is, part of your journey, part of your grind, and can support you, that's a good thing to have, guys, because eventually you doing the single life, spinning place, the player life, it will eventually get old. Okay, I remember even AMS, who admittedly is in a has like some sort of main squeeze girlfriend too. I remember he made a video saying that we all go purple pill in the end, meaning of course you're red pill aware, but you're blue pill because you're in a relationship. He said that everybody goes purple pill. So eventually, men, we do want to have that woman, like I said, that compliments us, that, we can share things with, build, grind with, grow with. And especially, guys, if you do want to have kids eventually, which a lot of men do, you don't want to just be doing that with just random women and, kind of just like having a baby mama drama on the side. You want to find that right woman who you can eventually, if you choose to get married with and have kids with her, that's kind of the path that you want to go on, okay? So I completely agree with both these gentlemen on here. Like I said, you got to watch the full debate, because it's it's really a great conversation. Both guys get their point across, and I see where Rollo's coming from. Kind of just I spoke on Ruslan a lot to talk about Rollo. What he's talking about is making sure that you're aware of the numbers. He throws a lot of data at you, right? Here's the numbers. Here's the percentage of people getting married. Here's the percentage of people getting divorced. But you can't just always let these numbers control your life, right, guys? So if you really feel like, hey, you know what, that's the path for me, try to develop your game in a way where eventually you're going to get to that finish line, okay? Because like I said, you can do the player things for a long time, but eventually, guys, when you get to your, let's say, 40s, 50s, 60s, you're going to want to have somebody who you can just kind of settle down with, okay? When you're still, your 20s and 30s, hell, maybe even in your 40s, right? Let's be honest. For some guys, if you're in your 40s, you can still kind of do the single lifestyle, things like that. But eventually, you are going to want to settle down. And if you do want to have kids, you don't want to be super old having, obviously, men, we can have kids at any time, but you don't want to be like a 50-year-old having a toddler, right? I mean, you don't want to be 60-year-old having a toddler with you, right? You want to have the energy to see them grow up, play with them when they're kids. So if that's the kind of like the path that you want to go on, just keep in mind, it can be done. Marriages can be successful. Earlier in the episode, Ruslan was talking about how we keep hearing about child support, alimony, things like that. I might do another video on that clip, but he kind of breaks it down as to where that happens, but after a certain income amount, you know what I mean? And, that's not going to happen to everybody, guys. So if you watch, not to attack Fresh and Fit, but we watch Fresh and Fit, they keep saying, don't get married, don't have kids, this and that. But I would say a good percentage of men eventually do want to do that, okay? And it can be done. Look at this guy, Rollo Tomassi. He's been married for 26 years, but he'll kind of lead men away from it. But kind of like what Ruslan was saying, you got to kind of practice what you preach here. So just keep that in mind when you going over your red pill content, your manosphere content. When you're still watching Kevin Samuels, rest in peace, or you're still watching Rollo or Fresh and Fit or AMS, all these guys. Just take it with a grain of salt. But that's enough for my rant on this one, guys. As always, I really appreciate you watching the video. Don't forget to hit that like button. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button for me. Drop a comment, and I'll go ahead and catch you guys in the next video.